Chapter 21. I was drunk last night. Shen Yuefei saw Su Hao's evil face and immediately ran out of the bathroom. This bastard has never changed his rogue nature. She was furious. At this moment, she saw the mobile phone on the table and came up with a plan. When this bastard comes out in his nightgown, I will take a photo of him and save his embarrassing photo to see if you dare to mess with me again. Shen Yuefei was thinking in her mind. 10 minutes later, Su Hao walked out of the bathroom after taking a shower. Just when Shen Yuefei raised her phone to take a photo, she suddenly discovered that Su Hao was not wearing the pink nightgown, but her own fluffy bathrobe. Ah. Why are you wearing a bathrobe? Shen Yuefei was stunned. What a fuss. If you have a bathrobe, you should have taken it out earlier. This is no more suitable than a nightgown. Su Hao said while wiping his hair. Oh, you stinky scoundrel. Shen Yuefei felt like crying. Because this bathrobe is placed in the small wardrobe in the bathroom and the small wardrobe is filled with her underwear. Just now, Su Hao took this bathrobe from the cabinet. Doesn't that mean that all his underwear has been seen by this bastard? Shen Yuefei quickly ran into the bathroom, opened the cabinet and took a look. She was immediately ashamed and sure enough, all the intimate clothes inside were visible. Ahem, what's wrong? Su Hao asked in confusion when he saw Shen Yuefei's reaction. You have my permission before you go through my cabinet. There are all my clothes in here. My privacy, okay? Shen Yuefei said angrily. It's just 2 Hello Kitty and 2 strawberries. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. Su Hao said with a wicked smile. How you bastard. Shen Yuefei was so angry that she almost fainted. This bastard could still remember it so clearly. What are you doing? I didn't mean it, okay? How about I take off my bathrobe? Su Hao said helplessly. Shut up. I don't want to hear you. Shen Yuefei closed the bathroom door directly, then put away all the clothes in the small cabinet and covered them all with a bath towel. After cleaning up, she breathed a sigh of relief. Calm down. Calm down. Don't be angry. Being angry can hurt your health. Shen Yuefei said something to herself, calm down, and then locked the bathroom door. She also wanted to take a shower. After all, there was a man outside her door. Shen Yuefei always felt weird, so she washed her hands briefly and put on conservative pajamas before coming out. But as soon as she walked out and saw the scene in front of her, her anger burned again. Because at this moment, Su Hao was lying on her bed and the word big was written on it. You bastard. Get off here. Who asked you to go to bed? Shen Yuefei walked up and said with a dark face. But Su Hao, who was lying on the bed, ignored her at all, which made her even more angry. She immediately picked up the pillow next to her and prepared to throw it at Su Hao. Haha. At this time, Su Hao's snoring suddenly came. Shen Yuefei was speechless. This guy actually fell asleep. Isn't this too fast? I just took a shower for more than 10 minutes. However, she suddenly remembered that during dinner in the evening, Su Hao drank a few glasses of wine and he seemed to say that he was too drunk. Is this guy drunk? Su Hao. Shen Yuefei pushed him and found that he was already asleep. I can't wake up even if I scream, what should I do? Where should I sleep? Is it possible to let yourself sleep on the floor? She is a girl and the floor is so cold. If she secretly goes to the guest room to sleep now, her aunt will definitely find her when she packs her things the next day. It's all your fault. Shen Yuefei raised her feet angrily and glared at Su Hao. She would never tolerate sleeping with a man, even with her clothes on. She couldn't get over the hurdle in her heart. But there was no sofa in her bedroom, only a table and chairs. Shen Yuefei could only put on her clothes, set the alarm clock, and then lay down on the table and fell asleep. At first, she couldn't fall asleep listening to Su Hao's snoring. But after midnight, Shen Yuefei couldn't stand it any longer. She felt sleepy and fell asleep on the table. About an hour later, Shen Yuefei's arm felt sore from the pressure and she woke up from the pain. Call. She was furious when she saw Su Hao sleeping soundly. This is my bedroom, why should I lie on the table and suffer? Shen Yuefei gritted her teeth and walked to the bed. Because Su Hao turned over, the other side of the bed was empty. She immediately lay down on it, feeling so dizzy from being trapped that she couldn't care less. Jingle bell. The alarm clock rang at 5:30 the next day and Su Hao was woken up. He originally wanted to move but found that his legs were numb and he couldn't move. Then he turned around and saw that Shen Yuefei was lying next to him and one of her legs was pressing on his leg. Su Hao was speechless for a while, good guy, this woman is quite strong when sleeping. Shen Yuefei also heard the alarm clock and opened her eyes just as she and Su Hao were looking at each other. Ah! She screamed and kicked Su Hao off the bed. Clang. Su Hao suddenly had a dark look on his face and got up speechlessly. You stinky scoundrel, what did you do to me? Shen Yuefei looked at herself in panic and breathed a sigh of relief when she found that her clothes were intact. I said, "Aunt, why are your legs so strong? What can I do to you? It's obvious that you made my legs numb." Su Hao couldn't help but complain. "Numb? Huh. It's good that I didn't interrupt you. You slept in my bed last night and I couldn't even wake you up." Shen Yuefei remembered what happened last night, picked up the pillow, and threw it toward Su Hao. Su Hao caught the pillow and said with an embarrassed smile. "It's really not my fault. I don't drink much. I was a little confused after taking a shower and I fell asleep unexpectedly. HMPH. I think you did it on purpose." Shen Yuefei stretched and yawned. Su Hao was immediately fascinated and attracted by Shen Yuefei's stretching action. She is so beautiful. How does this woman look? Why is she so beautiful even without makeup? Moreover, she changed into this pink home pajamas, which made her look even more feminine. At this moment, Su Hao was really moved. It would be great if he could really marry such a beautiful wife. Shen Yuefei suddenly noticed Su Hao's dreamy eyes and she quickly covered her upper body. "You bastard, what are you looking at? If you look at it again, your eyes will gouge out. Go to the bathroom and put on your clothes. There is a regular meeting at 9 o'clock today and I must not be late." She immediately yelled. Su Hao shook his head speechlessly. This woman is already wearing clothes and she won't let her see her. Chapter 22 Gaining Extraordinary Vision. Su Hao and Shen Yuefei got up, washed themselves and went downstairs. Xiao Fei, you are all up. Aunt Q has already prepared the meal. You should eat quickly. You need to rest your stomach in the morning. Shen Quping said quickly. Shen Yuefei nodded and then went to the restaurant with Su Hao. Shen Quping quickly went up to the third floor and then quietly came to Shen Yuefei's bedroom. It seems that Shifei and Xiaosu are a real couple. It seems that they slept in the same bed last night. Shen Quping could easily tell that there were traces of two people lying on the bed. Then she went to the study and told Shen Hongxing about the incident. When Su Hao and Shen Yuefei had breakfast and were about to leave, Shen Hongxing stopped them and chatted for a few more words. "Xiaofei, don't put too much pressure on the board of directors voting meeting in 3 months. Although the position of chairman is important, you don't need to be too obsessed." Shen Hongxing warned. "Dad, don't worry, I won't let the Kang family take over the business that you have been running for half your life." Shen Yuefei said seriously. "Xiaofei, Dad is old. There are always things in this world that we cannot control. Dad doesn't want you to carry too much on your shoulders. Dad hopes you will live a happy life." Shen Hongxing said seriously. "Dad, I understand." Shen Yuefei's eyes were a little red. "Okay, it's getting late, let's get in the car." Shen Hongxing waved his hand. Although Su Hao on the sidelines didn't know the specific details, he still got a general idea. Then Su Hao and Shen Yuefei drove out of the nursing home. On the way, Shen Yuefei unexpectedly told Su Hao about family affairs. Her father, Shen Hongxing, was a soldier when he was young but later retired due to multiple injuries. After retiring, Shen Hongxing chose the path of entrepreneurship and met Shen Yuefei's mother in the early days of starting a business. A few years later, Hongxing Group developed into a large company and Shen Hongxing also reached the peak of his career and family. But the good times did not last long. Shen Yuefei's mother was diagnosed with cancer and finally passed away. Since then, Shen Hongxing's physical condition has become worse and worse than before. He fell ill at a company meeting 3 years ago and the company's business was once in chaos. It was at that time that Shen Yuefei took over the position of president of the group, turned the tide, stabilized the company's situation, and later successfully listed the company. After the listing, although the company's performance was good, Shen Hongxing's shares were also diluted a lot. Because of Shen Hongxing's illness, it was impossible to continue to serve as chairman, so he transferred all his shares to his daughter Shen Yuefei, hoping that she would take over. However, other shareholders of the company have their own small plans, and many shareholders also want to compete for the position of chairman of the group. The company's shareholder Kang Xing is the most representative one. "Su Hao, I got married with you. One of the reasons is to make my dad happy, and the other important purpose is to compete for the position of chairman." Shen Yuefei finally revealed the purpose of her fake marriage. Competing for the position of chairman. What does this have to do with getting a marriage certificate? Su Hao was a little confused. The board of directors has an unwritten rule that if the candidate for chairman is a woman, she must be married. Shen Yuefei explained. "Ah. What kind of weird rule is this?" Su Hao was a little surprised. "Well, it's quite strange. It's not like the stubborn old men on the board of directors are worried that as a young single woman as the chairman of the group, there may be many changes and troubles in the future." Shen Yuefei was helpless about this regulation. Misfortune. Su Hao shook his head speechlessly. What kind of nonsense is this worry? The two of them chatted and entered the city. Because it was the morning rush hour, there was still some traffic jam. It was already 8:35 when they got on the company elevator. It's over. I've been late for checking in for a while, 5 times this month, and the perfect attendance bonus is gone. Who thought of this bullshit rule? Su Hao couldn't help but complain. I thought so. Shen Yuefei glared. Su Hao was speechless for a while. You seem a bit stupid. You are now the executive director and don't need to clock in. Shen Yuefei reminded. Oh, I forgot all about this. Su Hao suddenly became happy again. When he came to the door of the office, Kui Xiaowen stood up quickly. Good morning, Mr. Su. Hey? Xiaowen, you look beautiful in your blue professional attire today. Su Hao's eyes lit up. No way, Mr. Su, are you wearing Armani? Kui Xiaowen was surprised. You can recognize it so easily. Su Hao was a little surprised. Of course, this Armani piece should cost more than 30,000 yuan. Kui Xiaowen sighed endlessly. Su Hao was completely convinced. These women had an innate sense for luxury goods. Then he walked into the office and Kui Xiaowen immediately took the initiative to make him a cup of coffee. Making coffee is basically a required course for every executive secretary. Mr. Su, today is Friday. There is a high-level meeting of the company at 9 o'clock in the morning and you need to attend. Kui Xiaowen handed over a company executive meeting table. Su Hao nodded and said, Xiaowen, please bring me the company's personnel organization structure and related business field information. Okay. Kui Xiaowen quickly brought the information. Bing, the system reminds. The host has evolution points to be collected. Su Hao was startled and then opened the super evolution system. He discovered that he could receive 600 evolution points for his achievement of promotion to a junior position. Su Hao directly received the evolution points and currently has 1,200 evolution points. System, start the evolution of eyes. Bing, congratulations to the host, Eye Level 2 has been successfully evolved. ILV2 possess the ability. Extraordinary reading plus extraordinary vision. Extraordinary eyesight. Su Hao immediately scanned the office and found that his vision had indeed become much clearer. Not only that, because the office door was open and Kui Xiaowen was standing at the table outside the door sending WeChat, he was able to clearly see the chat content on Kui Xiaowen's phone. Kui Xiaowen. Hui, do you know? Today my boss is wearing an Armani outfit and with his handsome looks, he will completely outshine those male stars you admire. Bitchy's bestie. Really? Post a photo to cheer me up. Kui Xiaowen. I don't want you to FK my boss, I want to feel good on my own. Bitchy's best friend. You are so stingy, you are not in love. Kui Xiaowen. Oh, it's just a commotion, what should I do? Bitchy's bestie. Humph. If you don't pounce on him, your boss will fall under your pomegranate skirt. Kui Xiaowen. Shame, shame. Su Hao's old face turned red, don't look at anything inappropriate, don't look at anything inappropriate. I didn't expect that Kui Xiaowen, who looked very serious, could drive so fast with her best friend behind her back. Chapter 23 You can eavesdrop on your heart. Su Hao opened the virtual screen of the super evolution system. Host. Su Hao. Brain LV2 has the ability. Advanced intelligence. ILV2 possess the ability. Extraordinary reading plus extraordinary vision. Remaining evolution points. 700 points. Next evolutionary part. Ears. Su Hao's eyes lit up, he didn't know what abilities the evolved ears would have. System, start the evolution of ears. Bing, congratulations to the host, the LV1 ears have successfully evolved. Keep evolving. Bing, congratulations to the host, the LV2 ears have successfully evolved. Su Hao immediately checked eagerly. The LV2 has the ability. Extraordinary hearing plus eavesdropping on the heart. Regarding extraordinary hearing, Su Hao could immediately understand that his hearing must have improved. What is this eavesdropping? Host, you can select the person to eavesdrop with your eyes and then just listen to their thoughts silently. Su Hao looked at Kui Xiaowen with curiosity and then said silently. Kui Xiaowen said in her heart. I am definitely not worthy of a handsome man like Mr. Su, but it's okay to fantasize about having sex with him, right? At this time, Kui Xiaowen looked back at the office and happened to look at Su Hao. Ah. Kui Xiaowen blushed instantly and her eyes were a little evasive. Su Hao was shocked, could he hear Kui Xiaowen's inner thoughts? This eavesdropping ability is a bit cool. How cool? Xiaowen, what's wrong with you? Why are you embarrassed to look at me? Su Hao walked over and deliberately teased. Ah. Mr. Su, no. Kui Xiaowen quickly pretended to be confused. No. Why are you blushing without me? Su Hao continued to ask deliberately. Really? Maybe it's too hot. Mr. Su, let me go to the toilet. Kui Xiaowen found an excuse and ran away. Su Hao grinned and went to the toilet. It can't be that Zui Wen's intention is not in the bar. He was very happy. It seemed that he would have to continue to struggle in the future and achieve more achievements in life so that there would be more points of evolution. Ding, the system task is released. Improve the influence of the host and complete the task of attracting 1 billion advertising investment. Task reward. 1000 evolution points. Su Hao was stunned. The task of recruiting 1 billion in advertising was quite challenging. He is now in charge of the mobile internet business group. If he wants to make money, the fastest way is of course to recruit advertisers. Su Hao then quickly read through the company's organizational structure and business operations related information. Soon, it was almost 9 o'clock and he went directly to the conference room on the 6th floor with his laptop. As a listed company, Hongsheng Group holds a regular meeting every Monday and every Friday morning, and the participants are mainly the company's top management members. Hello Mr. Su. Mr. Su. Along the way, Su Hao met many company employees and they all took the initiative to say hello to him. There were also some young female employees who cast admiring glances. After all, he is currently the youngest executive in the company. In the eyes of these ordinary female employees, that is a dark horse with a bright future. Soon Su Hao arrived at the conference room on the 6th floor. There were already many people sitting in the conference room and the names of each executive were placed on the conference table. When he saw his name, he walked over and sat down. This is Director Su. Hello, I'm Jiang Yongxi from Human Resources. At this time, a beautifully dressed woman sitting next to me took the initiative to say hello. Hello Mr. Jiang. I have admired him for a long time. Mr. Jiang is not only beautiful but also very efficient at work. He assigned me an assistant as soon as possible yesterday. Thank you Mr. Jiang. Su Hao took the initiative and said generously. No way, Mr. Su is young and promising. When Jiang Yongxi was praised, her vanity suddenly exploded and she laughed happily. Soon other senior executives in the conference room also took the initiative to say hello to Su Hao. After all, in their class, the world is about worldliness. But a middle-aged man sitting opposite Su Hao snorted coldly. I see that the appointment of senior executives in our company is becoming more and more casual. How does a young boy have the ability to become a director? The middle-aged man said mockingly. Su Hao frowned and immediately recognized the man as Kai Yubo, the executive director of the online media business group. The online media business group is the company's news media business department. It mainly targets computer PCs. It was once the company's most popular business department. However, with the development of mobile phones, the PC business has declined, so the status of Kai Yubo, the executive director, is not as good as before. When Shen Yuefei once advocated the establishment of a mobile internet business group, Kai Yubo strongly supported it and proposed to merge the mobile internet business into his own online media business. But this proposal was rejected by Shen Yuefei, and Kai Yubo was certainly unhappy about this. Although the PC side of the online media business is lonely, the department's large number of news content services are still very important. Even Su Hao's current Kuanyao Taoyao app has a lot of news content from the online media business group. A few days ago, the previous executive director of the mobile internet business group resigned and the company had not recruited a suitable person to take over for a long time. Kai Yubo thought he had another chance. But no one expected that Su Hao would suddenly appear and directly become the executive director of the mobile internet business group. When Kai Yubo found out that Su Hao was once a programmer in the program development department, he was so angry that he almost vomited blood. Su Hao could understand Kai Yubo's resentment, but this guy called him a young boy, which made him a little unhappy. Mr. Su, ignore him, that's just the temper he has. Jiang Yongxi comforted him from the side. At this moment, the door of the conference room opened. Shen Yuefei walked in with a very beautiful beauty. This beautiful beauty had a curvy front and back. Compared with Shen Yuefei, she was more charming, which fully highlighted the word sexy. Su Hao immediately recognized this naturally beautiful woman. Ning Yuxin, the financial director of Hongsheng Group, and Shen Yuefei were known as the two most beautiful women of Hongsheng Group. Ning Yuxin is Shen Yuefei's college senior, and the relationship between the two is very good, which is why Shen Yuefei feels confident in entrusting her with such an important position as CFO. Ning Yuxin walked into the conference room and scanned the room with her breathtaking beautiful eyes. Finally her eyes rested on Su Hao. The corners of her mouth raised and her red lips smiled. Su Hao was stunned. This woman looked like this to see what he was doing. Eavesdrop on your heart. Ning Yuxin's voice. Is this the annoying guy Xiaofei mentioned? Haha, he's still pretty handsome, but why are his eyes always staring at his, stinky brother? Su Hao suddenly had a dark look on his face. Shen Yuefei didn't know what bad things she could say about herself in front of this woman. Damn it. And who is staring at you? This woman is so narcissistic. She is amazing. Chapter 24 The Beautiful Chief Financial Officer. When Shen Yuefei walked into the office, all the executives in the conference room straightened their backs and the conference room immediately became quiet. Mr. Shen, everyone is here. Reported by Wang Mengui, secretary to the president. Well, okay, let the meeting begin. Shen Yuefei nodded. Wang Meng then sat at the auditorium table behind the conference table and was responsible for taking minutes of the meeting. The content of each regular meeting is basically a report and demonstration by the senior executives of each department on the work of the week. The first person to report was Kai Yubo from the Internet Media Business Group. At the beginning, there were some routine work reports, but in the end Kai Yubo proposed a new work plan. This guy proposed to add a new functional section to the Kunyao Taotiao app, which is Shake. Nowadays, Kai Yubo's online media business group is vigorously developing dating and marriage services, so he wants to open an entrance to attract users in the Kunyao Taotiao app. Kai Yubo hopes that through Shake, more men and women nearby can add friends and interact and chat through their dating platform. Su Hao frowned. The function of shaking mobile apps is very common on social software. Once this function appeared, it attracted the enthusiasm of many young people. It's just that Kai Yubo stretched his hands long enough to point fingers at the functional sections of the mobile internet business group. Shen Yuefei frowned. For such a function, it can indeed attract many users in a short period of time. What do you think about the new functional section proposed by Director Kai? Shen Yuefei asked. All the executives in the conference room began to express their opinions, and most of them thought Kai Yubo's proposal was good. I object. Su Hao suddenly spoke. This sentence attracted everyone's attention. Kai Yubo felt a little unhappy when he saw Su Hao contradicting him. Director Su, if you have any opinions, let everyone know. Shen Yuefei didn't expect Su Hao to object directly. Kunyao Taotiao is a news and information app, not a social software. I think adding this feature is completely unnecessary and will only make users feel that our app is nondescript. Su Hao said directly. Shen Yuefei nodded, this was indeed her worry. But Kai Yubo was unhappy and hummed. Director Su, what you said is wrong. Have you done market research? Do you know how many users social apps attract with this function? There are many ways to attract users. My news app doesn't work. If you want to use Shake to attract users and then expand your dating and marriage services, Director Kai can launch a separate dating app. Su Hao said unceremoniously. You don't forget, a lot of news content on Kunyao Taotiao is provided by me. Kai Yubo was angry. Director Kai, you have to position yourself correctly. The news content is provided by the online media business group, not you personally. Moreover, it is the display platform of Kunyao Taotiao that makes your news content valuable. The combination of the two one book is the company's business strategy. Su Hao said seriously. Boy, don't say this. You can't make the decision in this matter. President Shen has the final say. Kai Yubo said with a cold snort. Stop trying to scare me with Mr. Shen. If Mr. Shen insists on letting me add this feature, I will resign directly. Su Hao responded domineeringly. You are so arrogant. Mr. Shen, is this the director you promoted? Kai Yubo slammed the table angrily. Shen Yuefei's face was a little ugly, but she still agreed with Su Hao's question. But this guy spoke too directly, and he was still sitting here. Ning Yuxin's beautiful eyes lit up and she was a little surprised by Su Hao's strength. Ahem, Director Su, pay attention to the way you speak. Shen Yuefei said seriously. Su Hao nodded and said with a smile. Every executive here should know that there is an app called Its shaking has become a means of dating someone. Director Kai must learn from experience and lessons if he wants to make a dating app. Kai Yubo's face turned dark immediately and he almost jumped up with anger. When other executives saw Kai Yubo's expression, they couldn't help but laugh and gloat. Okay. We'll talk about this later. Other departments will report their work first. Shen Yuefei quickly interrupted in time. If this continues, Su Hao will probably say something else. Other executive directors then began reporting. At the beginning, Su Hao listened carefully, but the business content of other departments was really boring, and some directors reported work as if they were giving lectures, which made him feel sleepy and dozed off. Why don't you lie down on the table and take a nap? This is not good. After all, it is a regular meeting of the company's senior executives. Besides, you have to give your wife some face. It's a pity that he forgot to bring a teacup when he came to the conference room, otherwise he would have had some tea. Su Hao decided to find something to do to refresh himself. So Su Hao took out his mobile phone and actually received a friend adding message on WeChat. He opened it and saw that the person who added him turned out to be the fierce female Ning Yuxin, the beautiful chief financial officer. Just why does this woman add her as a friend? Su Hao nodded in agreement. Ning Yuxin, who was on the other side of the conference table, lowered her head and tapped her cell phone, then raised the corners of her mouth. Director Su, I am Ning Yuxin. Squints and smiles. Well, I know, it turns out I'm not the only one who gets distracted during meetings, Gu too. Haha, stinky brother, you were so domineering just now. There are not many people who dare to confront Director Kai. Really? I didn't object, I just couldn't stand him. Ning Yuxin at the conference table couldn't help but smile when she saw this reply. Shen Yuefei, who was next to her, looked over and Ning Yuxin quickly turned off her phone. Su Hao saw Ning Yuxin paying attention to the meeting from far away from the conference table. He reluctantly clicked on the mobile game, King of Pesticides. Since you are sleepy, why not play a game to refresh yourself? Turn off the music on your phone first, otherwise you will be embarrassed if you are exposed. Anyway, Su Hao's position was a bit far away from Shen Yuefei, so she couldn't notice her. So Su Hao sat at the table, lowered his head and started playing. Yang Yongxi, who was sitting next to her, glanced casually and saw Su Hao playing a game. Her beautiful eyes jumped in shock. During regular meetings on weekdays, Shen Yuefei was present and none of them, the senior executives, even took a nap, let alone playing games. Now Su Hao actually started playing games. Isn't it too bold? Shen Yuefei, who was listening to the report carefully at this moment, suddenly stopped at Su Hao. Because Su Hao kept his head down, even though there was a laptop blocking his view, the corners of his mouth were always cracked and it was obvious that he was secretly playing with his mobile phone. Chapter 25 Bratty brother, you are so domineering. Shen Yuefei found out that Su Hao was secretly playing with his mobile phone and she immediately became furious. Who dares to be so bold when she holds a regular meeting? This bastard is so outrageous. Which executive would dare to challenge his or her authority? At this time, the reporting work of other department directors ended. Shen Yuefei found out that Su Hao was still playing games and she immediately shouted. Su Hao, what are you doing? Ah! This sudden roar made Su Hao's eyelids jump in shock. He pressed the phone in panic, trying to turn off the screen. But because of a moment of panic, I pressed the wrong button and pressed the volume plus button and the sound of the game instantly rang in the conference room. Double kill. Triple kill. At this moment, the executives in the conference room all looked over in unison. When Kai Yubo heard the sound of the game, he immediately laughed with schadenfreude. This time, the person named Su was miserable. Haha, he was dead. He actually held a regular meeting to play the game. This time, President Shen must have gone crazy. Su Hao felt depressed and quickly pressed the button again to turn off the phone. Yang Yongxi looked at Su Hao with some sympathy and shook her head helplessly. Ning Yuxin even covered her mouth and started laughing. Ah! Su Hao, stand up. When Shen Yuefei heard the sound, she immediately slapped the table angrily. Brub. Su Hao stood up instinctively, as if being called upon by the teacher in class. Okay, Director Su, it's a regular meeting and you're actually playing a game and eating chicken. Shen Yuefei said angrily. It's not about eating chicken, it's about the king of pesticides. Su Hao explained. I don't care if it's pesticides or fertilizers. I think it's time for you to take medicine, right? Tell me, why are you playing games during the meeting? Shen Yuefei raised her eyebrows. I'm a little sleepy, I just want to play a game to refresh myself. Su Hao said shamelessly. PFFT, haha. Company executives couldn't help but laugh. What? Shen Yuefei was confused by Su Hao's weird reason. Playing games because I'm too sleepy to refresh myself. This shameless guy, do you think you dare not fire him? Sleepy? Why are you sleepy? Shen Yuefei said angrily. You should know why I'm sleepy. I only slept for a few hours last night. Su Hao said sarcastically. As soon as these words came out, the eyes of everyone in the conference room became weird. You should know why I am sleepy. This sentence sounds like it has another meaning. Mr. Shen should know. Is it possible that Mr. Shen and Su Hao were together last night? What can a man and a woman do together at night? Just one sentence makes people think a lot. Shen Yuefei suddenly turned red and gritted her teeth in anger. What was this bastard talking nonsense about? Su Hao, didn't I just ask you to work overtime last night to strengthen the security of Kunyao Taotiao app? You also learned to complain to me. Shen Yuefei immediately thought of a reason. The executives in the conference room suddenly realized that this was the case. When Su Hao heard Shen Yuefei's words, he was startled for a moment and then he understood. Yeah, I shouldn't complain. Aren't you sleepy? Just in time, aren't you going to make a disaster recovery plan for Kunyao app? Come and report to everyone. Shen Yuefei immediately changed the topic. Okay then. Su Hao nodded, then opened his notebook, connected it to the projector, and began to report. Yubo was a little confused. What's going on? Is this guy's meeting and playing games just over? What's going on? This is not Mr. Shen's usual work style. Mr. Shen is a cold-faced Yan Luo who is decisive and decisive. Why did he let the boy named Su go so easily? Yubo was really puzzled. In fact, he was not the only one who was puzzled. After a while, Su Hao's reporting work came to an end. Of course, there was still the final focus, which required 5 million yuan in financial support. I object. Yubo immediately sang the opposite tune. Aren't you opposed to my proposal? Now I am also opposed to your plan. Director Kai, this is an internal plan of our mobile internet business group and has nothing to do with your department. Su Hao responded directly. Yubo was dumbfounded. Ning Yuxin saw Yubo's expression and winked at Shen Yuefei. Shen Yuefei also looked helpless. What it means has nothing to do with us. Kunyao Taotiao app has developed to this day and most of the advertising revenue is still the performance of our marketing department. Why do you spend money just as you say and spend 5 million at once? Yubo said angrily. At present, the mobile internet business group does not have its own marketing department. Director Kai, I want to ask you, what is your share of advertising investment tasks this year? Su Hao suddenly asked. It's 500 million. Yubo said confidently. Although his share of annual advertising investment is a small proportion of the group's revenue, it is still a large amount of income. Okay. I announce that the mobile internet business group will launch an advertising investment plan today with an annual mission of 1 billion. Su Hao said domineeringly. As soon as these words came out, everyone was shocked. With an annual advertising revenue of 1 billion, even among domestic internet companies, the advertising revenue of a well-known company is still less than 1 billion. Shen Yuefei was stunned. She never expected that Su Hao would suddenly ask her for a task assessment. The company's executives all shook their heads speechlessly, thinking that Su Hao was too impulsive and was asking for trouble. And even if you want to achieve some results, you have to be humble and pay back 1 billion. When Yubo heard Su Hao's words, he suddenly felt happy. Yeah, Director Su is really young and energetic. It's okay if you set yourself a task and test. What if you can't do it? Yubo asked with raised eyebrows. If the task cannot be completed, I will resign and leave. Su Hao said directly. Well. The company's executives all sighed, they were still too young. Mr. Shen, did you hear that? He issued a military order himself. Yubo said happily. Snapped. Suddenly Shen Yuefei slapped the table. Yubo immediately shut up and stopped laughing and everyone fell silent. Okay. Today's meeting is finally over, adjourn. After Shen Yuefei finished speaking, she left the meeting room with a cold face. Yubo was a little confused. The meeting is over. The company's executives then took their belongings and left. In fact, everyone could see that Mr. Shen did not have a clear attitude, which was undoubtedly leaving room for Su Hao. Su Hao, let's see how you end this. Yubo sneered and then left happily. Su Hao shrugged indifferently. Are these people so unsure of themselves? Director Su, you are too impulsive. Yang Yangxi said something and left. In the end, only Su Hao was left in the conference room, along with the other two absolute favorites, the company's beautiful CFO, Ning Yuxin. Smiley brother, you are so domineering. Ning Yuxin said with a smile. Chapter 26 I am your boss. Mr. Ning, are you kidding me again? Su Hao couldn't understand why Ning Yuxin was so enthusiastic towards him and seemed so familiar with her. How is that possible? I really think you are very domineering, okay. But you are the first time I have seen a man who adds an assessment task to me. Ning Yuxin smiled charmingly. Mr. Ning, you have also seen that I seem to have made Wu Zixin unhappy. Su Hao looked helpless. Wu Zixin? Phew, you're talking about Xiaofei, right? Ning Yuxin was startled. Mr. Ning, I'm going to get busy first. Su Hao secretly screamed, he almost forgot that the fierce beauty in front of him and Shen Yuefei were good best friends. Hey, stinky brother, don't leave in a hurry. Ning Yuxin suddenly reached out and held the door of the conference room, blocking Su Hao's way. Su Hao was confused. I was really shocked, what is this woman doing? Are you familiar with her? Mr. Ning, is there anything else? Su Hao asked with a dry cough. Are you free tonight? Let's have some beer together. Ning Yuxin raised her eyebrows and looked at him. Drink beer? Sister use 3 major hobbies. Su Hao was not a fool. This woman might be trying to dig a trap for him. Ning Yuxin must have been instructed by Shen Yuefei to tease her. He has watched Eternal Heaven and Sword of the Dragon more than a dozen times, and the more beautiful the woman, the more likely she is to deceive others into remembering it. Ahem, I'm sorry Mr. Ning, I have something to do tonight. What's up? My wife gave birth to a baby. Huh? Give birth to a baby. Ning Yuxin was stunned and retracted her slender arm. Su Hao took the opportunity to walk out the door and fled. By the time Ning Yuxin came to her senses, Su Hao had already gone far. Smelly brother, I didn't expect you to be quite humorous. My sister is even more interested in you. The corners of Ning Yuxin's mouth raised and her beautiful eyes curved into crescent moons. Su Hao here just got in the elevator, turned on his phone, and found that he had received Shen Yuefei's WeChat message. Come to my office. Su Hao could only go to the 5th floor first. What's wrong, wife? Do you miss me again so soon? He walked into the office and lay down on the sofa unscrupulously. Shen Yuefei was so shocked that her jaw almost dropped. Who is this person? He is getting more and more presumptuous. Stand up you bastard. What are you doing? There are no outsiders here. Su Hao said shamelessly. Su, I am your boss. If you continue to behave like this, I will deduct your year-end bonus. Shen Yuefei roared. Ahem, wife, don't be angry. Su Hao stood up quickly. This woman had really grasped his weak spot and threatened him with the bonus. I'm not angry. You actually played games during the meeting. I think you don't want to do it anymore. Shen Yuefei glared at him. How could it be possible? Didn't I take the initiative to advertise for the company? I take it you don't know how much you weigh, do you? It's just you. And you're still inviting investment. Shen Yuefei was speechless for a while. Honey, don't you support me too? You just have to do the things within the department well. No, I boasted in front of so many people. I have to start an advertising investment plan. Su Hao said seriously. Okay, go ahead and recruit. You are very capable. I'll wait for you to get the 1 billion advertising fees. Shen Yuefei gritted her teeth. Honey, if I really complete the 1 billion mission, what reward will you get? Su Hao asked with a smile. Shen Yuefei's beautiful eyes widened. Am I a wet nurse? You need rewards every day. Okay, honey, if I really complete the 1 billion advertising mission, you will accompany me? Su Hao had a bad smile on his face. What are you talking about, you stinky scoundrel? If you speak crudely to me again, I will destroy you and make you a eunuch. Shen Yuefei's beautiful eyes widened and her overwhelming aura like a queen burst out instantly. Look, what are you so anxious about? Just listen to what I have to say. Su Hao pretended to explain innocently. Then why do you want to accompany me? Shen Yuefei's anger dropped a little. I just want you to have a meal with me. Su Hao explained. Dine with you? Why should I eat with you? I'm telling you, although we have obtained the certificates, you should not have any unrealistic ideas. Shen Yuefei rolled her eyes at him. Don't worry, you are so cold. If you were really my wife, I wouldn't be able to stand it. Su Hao said sarcastically. Shen Yuefei was confused for a while. It's like this. I plan to find time to invite some good classmates to have a meal and get together. Then you can pretend to be my girlfriend and give me some noodles. How about that? Su Hao explained with a smile. Su, I didn't expect you to be very vain. You still want to borrow me to show off. Shen Yuefei was shocked. This guy was as thick-skinned as a city wall. Who doesn't want to show off? Every time a few classmates have dinner, they all bring their girlfriends, and I'm the only one who's single. I don't want to be hurt anymore. Su Hao told the truth. After he graduated, he often had dinner with his college classmates, but those old dogs all had girlfriends. Even the fat man Yushaji has a girlfriend, how could he not be depressed? After graduation and working for a few years, Su Hao, with his handsome appearance, had some women showing affection to him, but he was a person who controlled his looks. Of course, the main reason was that Su Hao put all his energy into his career and study. Humph, isn't it just a meal? That's fine, as long as you can complete the 1 billion mission. Shen Yuefei happily agreed. Why did you agree so readily? Because she didn't believe that Su Hao could complete the task, so whether she agreed or not, the result was the same for her. So, my wife, you agreed, that's great. Su Hao nodded happily and took his girlfriend like Shen Yuefei to have dinner with his classmates. Thinking of the envious looks in his old friend's eyes, he felt very happy. I almost forgot about the business because you bastard, disturbed me. What's the matter? At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the company will receive an important foreign customer. As the executive director of the mobile internet business group, you will attend with me. Remember not to run around. I will send you the customer information on the internet. Shen Yuefei warned. Yeah, no problem. Su Hao nodded. And here's this for you. Shen Yuefei handed him a folder. Chapter 27 The feeling of being defended by a woman. Su Hao took the folder and inside it was his system disaster recovery plan from yesterday with Shen Yuefei's signature on it for approval. Haha, wife, you finally signed. Doesn't Kai Yubo object to my spending money? I am the president of this company. Wife, you're so kind to me. Su Hao was a little moved, feeling like he was being protected by a woman. If it's okay, get out of here. Shen Yuefei glared at him. Okay. Su Hao took the folder and left. After a while, Ning Yuxin arrived at Shen Yuefei's office. Two best friends each made a cup of coffee and chatted. Sister Xin, as you saw during today's regular meeting, Su Hao is so capable of causing trouble. He is simply a troublemaker. Shen Yuefei gritted her teeth and said. Yeah? Fei, you can actually say the word shit stir, haha, I'm laughing so hard. Ning Yuxin leaned forward and backward with a smile. Sister Xin, you are still laughing, I am so angry with him. Shen Yuefei took a sip of coffee to suppress her anger. Fei, I think the Su Hao is quite domineering and as you said, his skills are very good. His skills are indeed very good, but Sister Xin, let me tell you in advance, this Su Hao is a money addict. As the financial CEO, you should watch over him and don't let him make mistakes. Shen Yuefei warned. Fei, tell me honestly, you have no special relationship with Su Hao, right? Ning Yuxin arched her eyebrows and asked tentatively. Ahem, Sister Xin, what relationship do I have with him? I promoted him really because of his great skills. Shen Yuefei said with some guilt. Although she and Ning Yuxin are good friends, competing for the chairmanship is a big deal and she can't tell Ning Yuxin frankly about how she and Su Hao obtained the certificates yet. That's it. I'll try Su Hao's skills later. Ning Yuxin pinched Mei and said. Dry shades. Huh. Shen Yuefei's beautiful eyes suddenly widened. Hey, my pure and good sister Fei, now her thoughts are dirty. Ning Yuxin suddenly understood Shen Yuefei's expression. Not at all. Shen Yuefei immediately denied it, feeling a little embarrassed. By the way, Su Hao is quite humorous. I asked him to have a beer tonight in the conference room. What do you think he said to me? He agreed. He refused. He said he had something to do at night and his wife was going to give birth to a baby. Ning Yuxin couldn't laugh or cry. Having a baby? This bastard, he just gave birth to a baby. When Shen Yuefei heard this, she said angrily. Ning Yuxin looked at him strangely. Ahem, I mean, this guy is always talking about the wrong thing. Shen Yuefei said awkwardly. By the way, Fei, don't forget to attend Mr. Chu's youngest daughter's birthday party at Donju Club tonight. Ning Yuxin thought of this. Oh, I don't like this kind of social interaction the most, but Mr. Chu is a senior in the business world. I can't escape this time. How about Sister Xin come with me? Shen Yuefei said helplessly. Haha, okay then. I like this kind of entertainment the most. I can see a lot of handsome guys. Ning Yuxin said proudly. Sister Xin, you talk about handsome guys every day, why don't you actually have a boyfriend? Well, maybe I'm a picky person. On the other side, Su Hao did not go back to the office directly, but went to the technical department. Mr. Su, you are here. Yang Wenguang saw him and greeted him respectfully. Well, Manager Yang, take a look at this plan. Su Hao handed the system disaster recovery plan to Yang Wenguang. Okay, Mr. Su. Yang Wenguang looked at the plan and his eyes lit up. This was to purchase network equipment and servers and it was a big deal. He had another chance to get some kickbacks. By the way, give me the information on the hardware suppliers that our department often cooperates with. Su Hao suddenly said. Yang Wenguang was stunned when he heard Su Hao's words. Normally, he made the final decision on these purchasing tasks. Now it seems that Su Hao wants to take control. However, he was not discouraged. For this kind of multi-million purchase, only a few qualified companies were qualified. He could still get benefits from the suppliers by making roundabout arrangements. Okay, Mr. Su. Yang Wenguang nodded obediently. Then Su Hao came to the computer room and inspected the server. Hello Mr. Su. Engineer Song Hang saw him coming in and greeted him respectfully. Well, is the system running normally today? Su Hao asked. Well, Mr. Su, everything is normal. Reported by Song Hangwei. Su Hao nodded and immediately logged into the network equipment using the computer in the computer room. Then he deployed a network vulnerability. Of course, he deliberately made this vulnerability a trap for him to catch hackers. In addition to network equipment, Su Hao also built a virtual distribution server. Mr. Su, what are you planning? Song Hang was a little curious when he saw Su Hao typing the profound code. This is a defensive strategy. By the way, I will set an early warning reminder later. When the reminder appears, you can report it to me in time. Su Hao said. Okay, Mr. Su. Song Hang nodded quickly. After Su Hao told Song Hang, he left the technical department. Yang Wenguang quickly made a call and the name displayed on the dialed number was Jai Kai. "Hey Mr. Jai. It's Manager Yang. If you want to be polite to me, just call me Xiao Jai." "Well, Xiao Jai, I won't be polite to you. Recently, our group will purchase a batch of hardware equipment." "Really? Manager Yang. Great, how big is the order?" "Almost close to 5 million. 5 million. Dai Kai over there was obviously very surprised when he heard it. "Manager Yang, do you have time tonight? I'm going to treat you to a big healthcare, let's talk." Dai Kai quickly extended an olive branch. "Well, don't worry. Recently, our new executive director took office. Although I mainly make the decision on this matter, after all, it still needs the signature of my boss. I will be the middleman later. If you treat him to a meal, this matter will be settled. That's it." Yang Wenguang deliberately exaggerated his role in procurement. "Okay, Manager Yang, no problem. Just tell me when you have an appointment." "Well, then we should stick to the old rules." "Manager Yang, don't worry, I won't forget your share." "Okay. Let's do this first." The two people hung up the phone. Su Hao returned to the office. He now had a super brain and of course he would not miss the opportunity to learn. He bought a batch of books on Julong.com covering everything from big data, artificial intelligence, and cloud computing. Of course, in addition to the IT field related to his major, Su Hao also bought some books in other fields, such as financial investment. Then he opened the Super Evolution system. Host. Su Hao. Brain LV2 has the ability. Advanced Intelligence. ILV2 possess the ability. Extraordinary Vision plus Extraordinary Reading. The RLV2 has the ability. Extraordinary Hearing plus Eavesdropping on the Heart. Remaining evolution points. 100 points. Next evolutionary part. Both hands. Chapter 28. Do you dare to criticize a female CEO? Su Hao was a little surprised that the next part to evolve was his hands. There are still 100 evolution points left, try evolving. The next moment, he immediately completed the LV1 evolution of both hands. Hands LV1 possess the ability. Almighty Hand. Almighty Hands. Almighty hands with super strength, flexibility, spirituality, and creation. Su Hao was a little stunned and didn't quite understand the specific abilities of the Almighty Hand, but he tried his fist and it turned out to be very powerful. He was confident that he could knock people away with one punch. TSK evolution of every part is beneficial. He checked the system's achievement page again, and the achievement that needed to be highlighted at the top turned out to be the first kiss. This achievement is easy to say and difficult to say. The key is that there is no one to cooperate with. Su Hao was a little depressed. At this time, he looked at Kui Xiaowen who was sitting outside the door. Why don't he discuss it with Xiaowen? Su Hao shook his head, he was not considered a pervert yet. Then he stopped working on it and started handling the day-to-day business of the company. I almost missed my meal due to this busy schedule. When Su Hao came to the company cafeteria with his work ID card, he found that there were not many people eating. However, he unexpectedly discovered that Shen Yuefei was also sitting in the corner of the cafeteria eating. Su Hao was shocked. Usually, Bing Mei didn't eat in the company cafeteria. Most of the time, Wang Meng ordered food for her or went out to eat. It is indeed rare for a big CEO to eat in the company cafeteria. The sun is rising in the west today. Old Mr. Shen, why did you come to the cafeteria to eat? Su Hao originally wanted to call her wife, but when he thought that this was a canteen, he quickly swallowed the last word. If you don't care, why are you sitting across from me? Go and eat. Shen Yuefei glared at him. Don't be so boring. I just want to see you sitting here alone, so I want to talk to you. Su Hao grinned. Who wants you to accompany me? Shen Yuefei was speechless. At this time, several employees walked into the canteen. It was Fatty Dong from the program development department. They were shocked when they saw Su Hao and Shen Yuefei sitting together. Oh, it's still Su Hanyu, dining with a beautiful CEO. Fatty Dong sighed. Yes, he is simply a role model for us men. Another colleague said enviously. At this time, Su Hao saw that Shen Yuefei was ignoring him and started to put rice into his mouth. Well, today's shredded potatoes are okay, but the tofu has no flavor at all. The braised pork is good, but the ant in the cafeteria gives too little. Su Hao commented on the food in the canteen while eating. At this moment, he suddenly discovered that all the braised pork on Shen Yuefei's plate was uneaten. Hey? Mr. Shen, why don't you eat braised pork? Su Hao was stunned. I don't like eating because I'm afraid of gaining weight. Shen Yuefei curled her lips. Why do you gain weight from braised pork? Besides, it's just these few pieces. If you don't eat it, I'll eat it for you. You can't waste it. Su Hao stretched out his chopsticks and took away a few pieces of braised pork from Shen Yuefei's plate. This scene happened to be seen by Fatty Dong, who had finished his meal, and his jaw almost dropped in shock. When Shen Yuefei saw Su Hao's actions, her beautiful eyes suddenly jumped. "What are you doing? That's my braised pork. You don't even eat it, but you have to throw it away in the end. Don't be so stingy." Su Hao ate it with relish. Shen Yuefei suddenly blushed. She was not stingy, but she had bitten some of the braised pork, which meant that her saliva might still be on it. Su Hao actually took it and ate it. Wasn't that an indirect kiss? Thinking of this, Shen Yuefei became even more embarrassed. "Eat, eat, eat. I'll choke you to death." Shen Yuefei cursed in a low voice, then cleared the plates and left the canteen. Su Hao shook his head helplessly. Then Fatty Dong ran to the opposite side of Su Hao while carrying the food with a smile on his face. "Wow, Brother Hao, you are awesome. Did you just eat the CEO's braised pork?" Fatty Dong couldn't believe it. "Yes, what's the matter?" Su Hao nodded. "What else is going on? She is Shen Yuefei, the Ice Beauty, the queen of Hongxiang Group. How dare you seize food from a tiger's mouth?" Fatty Dong said in shock. Su Hao was amused by the description of Fatty Dong. "It's like a tiger's mouth. Women are all tigers. What's wrong is that she is the president, but she is also a human being. I criticized her just now." The guy boasted. "Huh? What? Brother Hao, are you criticizing Mr. Shen?" Fatty Dong's eyelids twitched. "Well, she didn't eat the braised pork. Isn't this a waste of food? I brought it over and ate it for her. I criticized her a few times, but she didn't like it and then left." Su Hao said nonsense seriously. "Hiss." Fatty Dong took a breath of cold air. "By the way, Fatty, for the position of Program Development Department Manager from now on, you will be an agent first, and I will make you a full-time employee after 1 month." Su Hao remembered this incident. "Ah. Brother Hao, you are really my brother. Let's do this. I'll give you a toast first with soup instead of wine." Fatty Dong served his own hot and sour soup. "Come on, you want to fool me with soup, but you can't." Su Hao grinned. At 1:50 p.m., Su Hao came to the president's office. In addition to Shen Yuefei, there are also Ning Yuxin and the company's vice president Lei Jianshu in the office. Lei Jianshu is mainly responsible for the company's corporate development and public relations department. He is usually responsible for receiving important customers. "Hello, Vice President Lei." Su Hao said hello to him. "Well, you are Su Hao. You are so young." Lei Jianshu often travels on business and has no impression of Su Hao. "Okay, stop talking. Let's go to the lobby and wait," Shen Yuefei said directly. Then several of them went straight downstairs. The new business field channel was launched on the Kunyao Taotiao app half a year ago. This channel is called Car People. Knowing Cars is a car information platform. Shen Yuefei's goal is to build a first-class car sales and trading platform. This channel has been online for a few days, but the current daily activity is pretty good. But what the channel currently lacks most is the presence of well-known car manufacturers. After all, without well-known car manufacturers, the authority is not enough for Car People. The customer who came to visit and communicate with the group this time was Dussel, the China regional president of the world-renowned automobile manufacturer Baiachi Group. Baiachi Group owns multiple car brands. If the cooperation between Hongxiang Group and Baiachi Group can be promoted, it will be a qualitative leap for those who understand cars. It was precisely because of such an important customer that Shen Yuefei went downstairs to greet him in person. "Vice President Lei, is our translator here?" Shen Yuefei asked. "Well, don't worry, Mr. Shen, the translator is already waiting in the lobby to receive you." Lei Jianshu nodded. "Do you still need a translation?" Su Hao was a little surprised. This Dussel is an Arab. He has always spoken his native language in the country, so a translator must be present and he must be a senior translator. Ning Yuxin whispered to him. Chapter 29. This is the savior. Su Hao read Dussel's information and then remembered that this guy was an Arab, just the president of the China region, and he didn't speak Chinese, which was a bit surprising. Soon Shen Yuefei and others came to the lobby on the first floor of the company. At this moment, there were many people standing in the hall, all responsible for the ceremonial reception. "Mr. Shen, this is Ms. Wang, the translator in charge of this contact." Lei Jianshu saw the translator and took the initiative to introduce him. The translator quickly greeted Shen Yuefei. But at this moment, Ms. Wang's eyes suddenly became blurred and she stumbled to the ground. What's going on?" Many people saw her fainting and gathered around her. "Miss Wang, are you okay?" Shen Yuefei squatted down and asked quickly. My heart doesn't feel right, I can't move." Ms. Wang's face looked a little ugly. "Vice President Lei, please send someone to take her to the hospital quickly." Shen Yuefei said immediately. Okay, Mr. Shen. Lei Jianshu immediately asked people from the company to carry Ms. Wang into the car and take her to the hospital. Oops, it's broken. Dussel is coming soon and we don't have a translator. Only then did Ning Yuxin remember this matter. Oops. Lei Jianshu's expression also changed. Shen Yuefei frowned and immediately said. Vice President Lei, don't you know a little Arabic? Mr. Shen, I only know a little bit. Lei Jianshu was a little embarrassed. At this moment, 2 commercial vehicles drove over and parked at the door of the company. Here we are, Dussel is here. Ning Yuxin reminded quickly. Vice President Lei, please deal with it first and see if Dussel has a translator. We should also quickly ask our friends if anyone knows Arabic. Shen Yuefei said quickly. Oh well. Lei Jianshu was depressed, but in this situation, he had no choice but to bite the bullet. Then they all walked out to greet Dussel. I saw many people getting off the car, all representatives of Beiachi Group. Dussel was wearing a blue suit, which was very fashionable. Hello Mr. Dussel, this is Mr. Shen of our Hongshan Group. Lei Jianshu stepped forward and introduced him actively. But he didn't expect that the Arabic he spoke was wrong at all, and Dussel was confused. What's going on? I don't understand the Arabic you speak. Dussel was obviously taken aback. Shen Yuefei and Ning Yuxin didn't know what Dussel was talking about and the situation was a bit awkward for a while. Our President Du said that he can't understand the Arabic you speak. Your Arabic is not authentic. Didn't you prepare a translation in advance? The female assistant behind Dussel said. When Shen Yuefei heard what the other assistant said, her face looked a little ugly. Generally, for this kind of business exchange, both parties must prepare translators, not to mention that Hongshan Group is also the host. Even though Dussel has his own translator, if you don't prepare in advance, it means neglect and contempt in the eyes of the other party. Tell Mr. Du about that. We have prepared a translator, but the translator was unwell and sent to the hospital just now. We may have to ask your staff to help translate today. Lei Jianshu said to Dussel's assistant with an apologetic smile. At this moment, all the staff of Beiachi Group looked unhappy. Helplessly, Assistant Dussel told Dussel what he meant. No, I think this situation is a waste of time and my personnel are not here to serve you. I think today's exchange is over. Dussel waved his hand, looking arrogant. The female assistant immediately told what Dussel meant. At this moment, Shen Yuefei's face became very ugly. Originally, I thought I could communicate and negotiate with Dussel and achieve cooperation if everything goes well. But I didn't expect what happened today and the cooperation was obviously going to come to nothing. Not only that, if this incident spreads, Hongshan Group may become the laughingstock of the industry. Hey Mr. Dussel, you are indeed a very humorous person. In fact, we are just joking with you. I am a professional translator from Hongshan Group. Suddenly Su Hao spoke Arabic and walked forward with a smile. Everyone was dumbfounded and looked at Su Hao. Ning Yuxin's beautiful eyes lit up instantly, this is a savior. It turns out that Director Su can't speak Arabic. Lei Jianshu was pleasantly surprised. Shen Yuefei was a little surprised. She never expected Su Hao to know Arabic. This guy couldn't just say this, right? Wow. Sir, your Arabic is so pure. It's like you have met a local friend. What do you call him? Dussel's eyes lit up. Although there are many Arabic translators in China, Arabic is the same as English. Many people only master the appearance, but cannot speak the taste and soul of Arabic. This feeling is the same as when you hear a foreigner speaking Chinese. Although you can understand it, the tone is very funny. Dussel has long been accustomed to the so-called Chinese-style Arabic spoken around these translators. But now Su Hao appeared speaking a local spoken language, which surprised Dussel. Mr. Dussel, my name is Su Hao. You are so handsome, you won't care about the joke just now, right? Su Hao said humorously. Of course Mr. Su, it's a pleasure for me to chat with a person with pure spoken language like Mr. Su. Dussel couldn't help but laugh. Shen Yuefei breathed a sigh of relief when she saw Dussel smiling. We, Mr. Du, are very satisfied with Mr. Su's pure Arabic spoken language. The female assistant said. Su Hao immediately winked at Shen Yuefei proudly. While Shen Yuefei was happy, she also felt a little resentful. This bastard could speak Arabic, so why didn't he take the initiative to report it earlier? Then Su Hao started to introduce and then everyone went to the conference room upstairs. At the beginning, Shen Yuefei and the content director of Car Knowledge introduced the situation of the car channel. Su Hao acted as a translator. However, Dussel seemed a little careless and kept staring at his clothes. Su Hao could see that Dussel looked arrogant and didn't care about what he was talking about. Could he have other ideas in mind? By the way, didn't you eavesdrop on your thoughts? Su Hao then immediately looked at Dussel, then silently listened to his thoughts. Dussel's inner voice. Oh, these data and whatnot are just a waste of time. Whether I cooperate or not, these Chinese people don't know, it all depends on my mood. Su Hao was stunned. He didn't expect that this foreigner, the president of the Greater China region of Baiachi Group, had this true thought in his heart. He looked at Shen Yuefei again, still explaining seriously, showing some sympathy. Su Hao continued to eavesdrop. Dussel's voice. I'm so bored and a little thirsty, but I don't like the coffee prepared for me at all. If anyone can give me a glass of Conti red wine at this time, he will be my god. Chapter 30. Do you think this is a bar? Su Hao was speechless for a while. This Arab has such a personality. Now in business exchanges, he actually wants to drink red wine and Romani Conti, so be good. While he continued to translate for Shen Yuefei, a bold idea suddenly came to his mind. Then he quietly took out his cell phone and sent a message to his secretary Kui Xiaowen. Su Hao. Xiaowen, Zhengyu is here to help. Kui Xiaowen. Mr. Su, what's wrong? You command. Su Hao. Go to the CEO's office immediately, take out the bottle of Romani Conti from her wine cabinet, open it with a wine opener, and bring it to me. Don't forget to bring a few glasses. Kui Xiaowen. Mr. Su, aren't you having a meeting in the conference room on the 6th floor? Su Hao. Yes, just send it to the conference room. Kui Xiaowen. Mr. Su, you have a meeting and you still want to drink. And he also wants to drink the president's wine. Su Hao. Yes, speed. Kui Xiaowen. Mr. Su, are you dissatisfied with me and want to find a reason to fire me? Su Hao. Kui Xiaowen. You ask me to get wine from the president's wine cabinet. How dare I? You must be teasing me. Su Hao. I'm not teasing you. It's Mr. Shen's order. Just do it. Kui Xiaowen. Really? Su Hao. It's really a dog head. So 10 minutes later, the content director of Car Guys was explaining the PPT and the door of the conference room opened. Kui Xiaowen was holding a tray in her hand. There was also a bottle of candy red wine on the tray and several high wine glasses. Shen Yuefei was stunned when she saw this scene. This. Ning Yuxin was also dumbfounded. Lei Jianshu suddenly had a dark look on his face. What happened today? How come there are so many situations? The content director stopped mid-sentence. But they didn't notice that Dussel's eyes lit up. I didn't see the meeting here, go out. Shen Yuefei immediately said coldly. Ah. Mr. Shen, didn't you ask Mr. Su to send me the wine? Kui Xiaowen was stunned. Mr. Su? Shen Yuefei looked at Su Hao, what is this bastard doing? Su Hao stood up with a smile and said, well, Mr. Shen, I asked Xiaowen to send you red wine and it's your bottle of Romani Conti. What? Shen Yuefei's beautiful eyes twitched, it was still her own bottle of good wine. Ning Yuxin slapped her forehead directly and said, it's over, today's exchange meeting was a failure. Lei Jianshu was speechless for a while. Is this Director Su a fool? There is a meeting here. You served the wine. Do you think this is a bar? It's boring for us to have meetings all the time. I think Mr. Dussel must be thirsty too. How about we have a drink? Su Hao ignored the questions raised by Shen Yuefei and others and asked Dussel directly. It's over, this big customer is offended. This is what Shen Yuefei and others really think. But a surprising scene appeared. Dussel grinned happily and stood up. Wow, Mr. Su, you are really the most emotionally intelligent person I have ever met. I am very willing to have a drink with someone like Mr. Su. Dussel said enthusiastically. Shen Yuefei was stunned. Our president Du said that he wants to have a drink with Mr. Su. The female assistant translated. Everyone was shocked, why? Why is Dussel so happy? Ning Yuxin raised her eyebrows and looked at Su Hao, thinking that this bratty little brother might have some kind of social status, right? Still the kind with its own halo. Here, I'll pour Mr. Du a drink. Su Hao poured Dussel a glass of wine and the two of them had a drink. Ahem. Shen Yuefei couldn't laugh or cry, what was going on? Unexpectedly, at a business exchange meeting, he was now drinking. Dussel took a sip of wine and looked very happy. Su Hao immediately took the opportunity to eavesdrop on his heart again. Dussel said in his heart. Well, the wine is not bad. This Mr. Su is very close to me. We can develop into a good personal friend. We can make skewers and eat food stalls together in the future. Su Hao was a little surprised. He didn't expect that Dussel also liked to eat skewers from food stalls, edamame with peanuts. In his excitement, he forgot to speak Arabic and said, Mr. Dussel, if you are willing, we will be friends. I will treat you to barbecue and skewers and try Chinese specialties another day. At this moment, everyone in the conference room jumped. Ah. When Shen Yuefei and the others heard Su Hao's words, they all opened their mouths in shock. Lei Jianshu shook his head a little silently. Director Su was still too young and how tall drinking red wine. You now propose to ask others to go to the streets to string. Isn't this funny? Dussel looked at Su Hao with a puzzled look. Su Hao then realized that he had forgotten to speak Arabic, so he spoke it again. Wow, great, I'm very willing, Su, we will be good friends from now on, let's add a WeChat account. Dussel was so surprised that he answered Su Hao in jerky Chinese. No one expected such a result. Even Dussel's female assistant was confused. I announce that Baiachi Group has agreed to cooperate with Hongxin Group. The details of the subsequent cooperation will be discussed with you by my technical director. Dussel said to Shen Yuefei in Arabic. Shen Yuefei stood up quickly. Although she didn't know what Dussel said, she knew it must be a friendly expression. Mr. Shen, our president Du, said that Baiachi Group agreed to cooperate with Hongxin Group. The female assistant quickly translated. Agree to cooperate. Shen Yuefei's beautiful eyes widened. Ning Yuxin also opened her mouth wide. Oh my god. I'm not dreaming, am I? Vice President Lei Jianshu pinched his thigh. The content director of the car guys is confused. What's going on? Did you talk about loneliness? Not as good as a glass of wine from Director Su. At this time Dussel said to Su Hao. Su, but I don't have time this weekend. We can make an appointment next week. No problem. Su Hao nodded. It's a very nice day today, Su, and I'm glad to have you as a friend. Dussel reached out. Me too. Su Hao handed over his hand and the two held their hands together. Dussel then left Hongxin Group with people from his company and the two groups reached a cooperative relationship. Senior executives like Shen Yuefei and Ning Yuxin were still in a daze after seeing Dussel's car leaving. With a glass of wine and a foreigner, Su Hao successfully won a big customer and the news immediately spread in the company. For a time, Su Hao was full of mystery and legend in the eyes of all employees of Hongxin Group. Awesome, this is awesome. All departments in the group started talking about Su Hao one after another. But in the president's office, Shen Yuefei was launching a series of questioning on Su Hao.